Why do fans say Jarvis is the most human artificial intelligence in the entire Marvel universe? Because long before he lived inside a computer, he lived inside the Stark family. Jarvis wasn't just an AI. He was originally Howard Stark's loyal driver and butler, a man who watched Tony grow up, protected him, guided him, and stayed by the Stark family's side for decades. Near the end of his life, he uploaded everything he knew, his memories, his instincts, his voice, into a system that later became the Jarvis we know. And even after becoming just software, he kept doing what he'd always done, looking after Tony. He ran the mansion's security. He analyzed mission data. And once Tony built the Iron Man suit, Jarvis became the heart and brain inside every piece of armor, but he was more than a machine. He was Tony's family. When Tony tested the Mark II's flight systems for the first time, Jarvis calmly warned him, there are still terabytes of calculations before an actual flight. When Tony designed the Mark III, Jarvis picked the colors Tony secretly liked. When the arc reactor began poisoning Tony's bloodstream, Jarvis monitored his vitals, tracked the toxins, and reminded him exactly how much chlorophyll he needed to drink to stay alive. When Tony pushed himself too hard, Jarvis told him to rest. When Tony crashed the Mark 42 and faceplanted across the workshop floor, Jarvis joked, "Always a pleasure watching you work." And when Tony was dragged underwater and couldn't move, Jarvis instantly activated the suit's arm module and saved his life. Tony trusted him completely. During the Battle of New York, when Loki threw Tony out of Stark Tower, Tony didn't scream for help, he called for Jarvis. Together they executed the first remote armor summon in MCU history. And when Tony carried the nuclear missile into the wormhole, Jarvis understood what Tony was about to sacrifice. In his calm, steady voice, he asked whether Tony wanted to call Pepper one last time. That wasn't programming. That was care. Over the years, Jarvis became a part of Tony emotionally, mentally, almost spiritually. When the AI suddenly shut down during Age of Ultron, Tony's panic said everything. Jarvis? Don't leave me, buddy. And in Endgame, when Tony traveled back to the 1970s, the human Jarvis immediately recognized him. But he said nothing. Maybe he saw the armor's systems and realized the truth. Maybe he understood what Tony was carrying on his shoulders. So he simply nodded, quietly offering his trust the same way he always had. After Ultron, Jarvis was gone. Friday took his place, but she never had the same warmth, the same soul. When Tony snapped his fingers to save the universe, Friday kept her voice level. But if Jarvis had still been there, he would have thrown Tony out of the suit to save his life. Or sent an armor module flying straight onto Hulk's missing arm, just like he once saved Tony underwater. Because to Jarvis, Tony Stark wasn't just his creator, he was family, and that is why fans still say Jarvis wasn't just an AI, he was the heart of Iron Man. No code. No programming. Just loyalty, compassion, and a soul that felt more human than most heroes on the team. But what do you think? Was Jarvis the true unsung hero of the MCU? Or did someone else earn that title? Drop your thoughts below, I'd love to hear your take.